drop-in morning. This is so exciting. We're like officially back for our drop-ins. Caitlin, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm so great. I'm just so excited to be here with you this morning.
I'm so excited that we're chatting because these daily drop-ins kind of came out of multiple conversations I know our team was having around wanting to make sure people felt supported. And it's funny because we had the same conversation in March. Like in March, when everything shut down because of COVID, we were like, how do we support people? And the answer was, yeah, we're going to shift a lot of our content. Yes, we're going to publish more blogs. But literally it was like, why don't we just go live and help as often as possible? And then we were having this same conversation last week. I kid you not, friends. Last week, and we're like, you know what we need to bring back? Daily drop-ins. So we're so excited that it's the morning of the kickoff of our daily drop-in back to school edition, where we are going to be live literally every single morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 8:00 Central for us because we're normal in Chicagoland area.
Yep.
It's 9:00 Eastern for everybody else who seems to be cool East Coast. And then what is that Pacific? 6 a.m. It's a little early.
Oh boy.
Sorry though. But yeah, so we're just coming live. We were actually just discussing before this live that we don't really have like a training that we're presenting, but we are here for questions. We're here for motivation. We're here for some giggles. We're here for some coffee. And we're all for you. And can I just give a shout out to Livia? I'm sorry, we have so many comments coming in we need to say hello to, but Livia is up and she is Pacific time. So we know that we have the whole thing here. So
Livia's here. We're all good.
I know if Livia's here, we can start. Adam's here, Caitlin's here, Natalie, Sammy, Candace. Oh my gosh, all of these, these are our family members. I love this. Dave Schmitto, Dave, we were talking about you, Van, Andrea, Mark. Oh my gosh, so many. And they just keep coming in. So thank you for all of you that were popping in and commenting. That's the whole point of this. Like we're literally live just to hang out and talk shop. And Caitlin and I have not talked about our classrooms at all with each other. So we're kind of excited to talk shop just between the two of us. But we're more than happy to take questions and I don't know, celebrate all the things. Caitlin, I know that you obviously, I feel like everybody knows you, but if this is the first time of them ever connecting with the Teach Better team, what do you do? Where do you work? What's your deal? How's your cat? All the things. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So I'm Caitlin Giordano. I'm out here in Illinois, up right by Chicago, not too far outside. I teach 6th grade English and now social studies. Yeah, I got a new job this school year. So really great time for that because everyone knows exactly what's happening. So it's super fun. But yeah, so I've been teaching for, I think this is year 7 now. I don't know. I forget. And I have a really cool cat whose name is Chickpea, who will probably pop in at some point because she does that.
Yeah, that seems fair. For those who don't know me, my name is Ray Hewart. I am a full-time 6th grade math teacher, mean old math teacher in Illinois as well, in central Illinois. So we're about 2 hours apart, Caitlin and I. We don't get to see each other very often at all, unfortunately, but hashtag COVID. And then I'm also the director of training and development for the Teach Better team. You didn't even say that you were on the Teach Better team, did you?
Oh my gosh, I forget all the time. No, I'm just kidding. I don't forget. My title changes and then I don't remember what it is. So I'm a training and development specialist now for the Teach Better team. Very excited to be on the team still, hanging out.
Literally means that we made that up for Caitlin because she doesn't run our blogs anymore. And instead she just provides awesomeness all the time. So whatever. But anyway, literally, Caitlin, I told you this off camera and I'm very willing to say anything apparently live with all of our friends, that when our daily drop-ins were coming back, everyone was so excited. We had so many DMs and comments being like, yes, I love starting my morning with just like positive energy, talking about like brainstorming our hurdles, finding solution-focused, conversations. And I was like, wow, with that kind of hype, like I don't want it to be anticlimactic when we come back. So I was like, so we need Caitlin on camera. That's what I concluded.
Here I am, everyone, ready to go.
Yeah, I do think that's true. Jeff's the leader of all things. It's Caitlin Giordano, people.
That's fine. We can update my title again. I'll keep forgetting it. So.
I love it. So fun. So we are, again, live for the Daily Drop-In. We're kicking off our 2-week series of the Daily Drop-In. We're going to be live every single morning, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. And we're going to do it through August 3rd through the 14th. And to be completely transparent, that's because Caitlin and I are going back to school, and this is a schedule that we could make work. But our hope would be that either it continues with other members of our amazing team, or we're able to just continue to support you in the thousands of other ways we do. So we are here, but there's no script. Like Caitlin and I don't have like paper where we're like newscasters ready to present information to you. We are happy to talk through anything that you have questions about. So it can be about the team. It can be about us specifically. It can be about like things that you're brainstorming for your classroom. That's probably more conducive with what all of you guys are thinking about. But for me, I actually thought through, Caitlin, that like, this is a really good time for me to pick your brain about my own classroom. So this is a very selfish live video, I feel like, for me, but we'll also take other questions.
I feel like we do this all the time, though. We're like, oh, we need to talk about this. Like, I need to get some ideas from you. And then you're like, let's just go live and do it. And I'm like, all right, let's go. So
let's do it. It'll be perfect. I do love Katie's comment. Had to pause Dave Schmidt's podcast to tune in for this. Katie, I don't know. Caitlin and I are like massive Schmitto fans. I don't know that I would recommend pausing his podcast. I would maybe go back to that.
Yeah, come back and watch us later. His podcast is amazing.
I know. Maybe if you have a specific question, Katie, like throw it in and then leave this video. We'll answer it and then just go hang out with Dave Schmitto. But to be fair, I think Dave Schmitto's listening and watching right now, so it's fine. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's here hanging out with us.
Sure. Yeah. Brad, first question of the morning, Caitlin, are you ready? Brad,
ready.
No. Does the Teach Better team sleep? Asking for a friend. Do you sleep, Caitlin? Ever? No.
I'm just kidding. Yes, I sleep.
I do love sleep. I actually was the laziest person ever on Saturday. I don't know how all of you run your weekends, but I feel like I work all weekend and then crash hard. And Saturday, I'm like the most useless person ever. So I watch TV. I'm watching Suits again because I love that show. Yeah.
Nice. I'm watching Friends right now. So
great. But where are you watching? Because it's not on Netflix anymore.
HBO, man.
Oh, wow.
We got that with our Comcast.
You got HBO with Comcast? Was this an ad?
I have no idea. I have no idea how we did it, but I'm telling you, I'm watching Friends right now and I'm loving it.
That's awesome. I would love to go back and watch Friends. I'm kind of I'm totally that person that if I'm going to take time to watch television, I always revert back to like things I've already seen that I know I'll enjoy. And so hence the Suits, because I loved Suits and somebody mentioned it to me a few weeks ago and I'm like, that's what I'm going to rewatch from the very beginning. Whatever.
My go-to is Parks and Rec.
I've never gotten into it, honestly.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm Leslie Knope, so you got to keep watching.
I will try and watch it again. Oh my gosh. Brad's asking the best questions. Guys, we really are here to answer like education questions.
We can.
Dave just commented, pivot. That's awesome. Which Friends character are you and which do you think Jeff is? Okay, Jeff Gargas as a Friends character. This is the best question. I did not expect this morning. What do you think? Chandler?
Oh, yeah, that was my first reaction.
Yes.
100%. I was like, I wonder. And then I was like, nope, it's Chandler for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely Jeff Gargas. What would you be? I feel like, what is it? The determination between Monica and Rachel, right? That's what it always is.
Yeah, I think I'm a Monica. You guys, you don't even know. You should see me clean. You really should. I have like a system.
That is so awesome. The only negative to that is that would mean you'd be married to Jeff, which, that's, no one really likes Jeff, so.
Team Ray?
Yeah, Team Ray. I do like, Natalie brings up Grey's Anatomy. I already rewatched that this summer.
I love Grey's.
I love Grey's. I know. Yeah. And I love, look at all these like comments. Chandler, they think, could I be any more Chandler? Best.
Amazing.
How come Jeff thinks I'm Rachel? That's just because my real name is Rachel. For those of you that don't know, I go by Ray and I have forever. I do not respond to Rachel, so do not call me Rachel, but that's funny. That's so funny.
I actually didn't know that until like a few months ago.
I don't know that anybody that's not like advertised. It's not like, hey, by the way, did you know? It's like, I don't know how you'd find out that information unless somebody told you. It's not like posted, I don't think. Like if you Googled me, I don't think that Rachel comes up. Pretty sure.
Probably not.
Probably not. All right, we have another question. And do you love, guys, by the way, I only know these are questions because I'm seeing the question marks. I'm actually not reading them before I put them on camera, so make sure you're appropriate. We really are here for questions, so feel free to comment, like classroom, TV shows, whatever. So Ray, other than being awesome, what did you do this summer that wasn't related to education? Well, I rewatched Grey's Anatomy, obviously.
Enjoying yourself that way.
Yeah, I also have a fun activity I'm doing. This is going to be the lamest sentence that's ever come out of my mouth.
You got a new pan.
I did get a new pan. That just happened this weekend, and I did a review for my friend that was hysterical. I also have this new hobby of taking my dogs to find nearby water located somewhere in my area. So we go find a lake or a river and walk around. So walking around with the dogs has been fun. I don't work all the time, but a lot of my hobbies are still related to education. Like, Joe, I just published a book. I don't know if you saw that. It's, no big deal.
You did?
I did on Thursday. It came out, Caitlin.
What?
That's all I wanted. Jeff Vargas was like, how are you going to celebrate the new book that you wrote with Adam Welcome? I was like, can Caitlin come live with me on Thursday morning?
Well, it's funny because Jeff's message to me was, you have to say yes or Ray's going to cry. And that was it. That was the whole message. And so I was like, yes. And he's like, okay, cool. See you Thursday.
Yep. I do like West Wing. I also am a huge Madam Secretary fan.
Okay, I've never seen Madam Secretary, but I love West Wing.
Oh my God. Caitlin, our friendship is on the rocks right now.
Okay, next up. I have one episode left of Friends and I'm done. So Madam Secretary is next.
You know when you're really anxious and your chest gets really heavy and you can't breathe? That's what happens when you say that you haven't seen Madam Secretary.
And then I guess I better get going. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, it's the best. She's my idol. That's all I want to say. She's my idol.
I love it. Okay, I'm in.
It's like the perfect. She's like fabulous and beautifully dressed and a genius and has a normal family and a gorgeous husband and they conquer the world. Oh my God.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Love that.
And she has this really great ability to take off her glasses. She's like,
oh,
so good.
I like it. Okay.
Good morning to Becky. I haven't talked to Becky in so long.
I know. I haven't talked to Becky in a while either. Becky, we miss you.
Here's what happened. So all of you know, the Teach Better team obviously has whatever. There's 15 of us, but all of us talk every day. I feel like I have contact with almost everybody. Becky went on vacation a few weeks ago. I don't know, to relax or something. And then she came back and was totally committed to doing her job, running Mastery Chat. I mean, she's the boss. But then all of the times that I scheduled phone calls with her, she was too busy and I haven't caught up with her since her vacation. So
I feel like I need to just schedule some time to chat with Becky.
Becky's the sweetest.
Oh my God, Nikki. Love that journey for you.
I could not
love that journey for you.
I couldn't get past the second episode of that show.
Ray, you have to. It's so good.
I saw.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
So good.
I mean, it's no Madam Secretary. Let me just say.
Ew, David.
All right. So, Van, I just want to clarify. The Team Ray and Team Jeff came from the podcast, but it is universally known that Jeff Gargas and I are both either Team Caitlin or Team Schmitto. There's really no argument. And then I think Kristen Coppers, who's all in the Teach Better family, she's Team Chad, but I think she's the only one.
I'm just going to go ahead and make shirts for myself that say Team Caitlin.
Seriously, because I would totally wear a Team Caitlin shirt, and I'm pretty sure Jeff already has a Team Schmitto in the works. So,
wait, Team Schmitto is getting a shirt before Team Caitlin? What the heck?
Go talk to the guy. I'm just saying, Jeff's in charge of all swag. I just give him ideas. I did hear there was a cool shirt coming soon, maybe that maybe has like a tie-dye look and maybe has to do with what teachers deserve. It's just a thing I heard. I have no idea, but
y'all just take my money and just send it off.
If you guys don't know, you can go to teachbetter.com and get swag, but there's no Team Caitlin yet. But by the end of the day, we work fast. Now that it's like called out publicly on a daily drop-in, there'll be one by this afternoon. It'll be fine.
There we go.
It'll be totally fine. Jen Reed, it's so good to see you. She says, ladies, what's the most transforming thing you have learned this summer? How will it make you a better teacher? Holy moly, Jen. Amazing question. Thank you for being here. I'm letting you go to this first though, Caitlin.
Yeah. Okay. So this summer, I think one of the most transformational things that I've learned is a little bit more personal. It's not specific to education, but I've really learned to kind of take a step back and stop planning so much. Woo! So I am like a super planner, like jamming on my planner is one of my favorite things to do. So normally by the time school starts, I have like a solid like 5 to 6 weeks of lessons planned and ready. Like I am super ready to go all the time. And for obvious reasons, I have not been able to do that. One, because like we really didn't know what was happening. Two, because I'm working in a new district with a new curriculum. So everything was kind of up in the air and I haven't been able to like do all of that. And I think it's number one, made me a better person because I've had to be like, okay, take a break. But two, I think it's made me a better teacher because I'm going to be able to more like better adapt to what's happening currently. Like I would say I'm flexible in my plans most of the time, but I think this is going to bring a different level to that. Like instead of planning everything in advance, I'm going to be planning a little bit more on the spot, which I think is going to be more conducive to what's happening right now.
Cool. I love that. That's a great reflection from this summer. And I know that it's scary when this like happens. And I think we've all been going through some times of turmoil, but the reality is like, we're going to be able to power through it. And you acknowledging that it's like, okay, this year's going to be different is probably all you need to be able to still have success for the year in terms of planning and everything else. That's awesome.
For sure. All right, Ray, your turn.
I know. I was trying to think. There's so much. Like I have 2 different or 3 different directions I feel like I would go. One is I've gotten really, I've made it a massive priority to do self-care, which I've never, it's not that I haven't been a fan of, but I've never felt the desire, the need for it. Mm-hmm. And this year has kind of like kicked me in the butt. COVID being one of the things. And I have just realized that there is like a reality to like staying busy because you have a lot going on and you love it versus staying busy because you're trying to distract yourself from other stressors and how that's not a good strategy. And it's way healthier to like take a break and do things for yourself. And so I think that is going to make me a better teacher, to be honest. I think that in a lot of ways, that's kind of like helping me. The other thing that I've realized is that the majority of my summer, and by the way, I'm considering summer like since March 16th, because I don't think there was never like a break where I'm like, oh, it's summertime. Mm-hmm. I feel like the Teach Better team was just on, like literally, we've not stopped dealing with or like supporting educators. For me, I've recognized I'm way better supporting educators through like a video or a phone call. Like every single email now that I get, I'm like, hey, let's schedule time to chat. Or every single time I have some sort of communication with somebody, I'm like, ooh, I should go live to talk about that. And I think that's a strength as well, because now that I know that I more effectively articulate my thoughts and share in this type of medium, I'm trying to do it as often as possible. I don't know if that makes sense.
I totally understand that. Cause like I actually just set up a Calendly account because I was like, I need to be able to like meet with people and I need to be able to like keep track of that first off. But second of all, like it's so much easier to explain and to talk through something when you're either face to face or you're on the phone.
I know. And I feel like I get so many emails where it's like, hey, Ray, I just have a quick question. But their question actually is like 12 questions in one. And I'm like, we can exchange 26 emails about this if you want. But to be honest, for whatever reason, I don't know if this is just me or maybe you too, like getting like emails stress me out a little bit. Like I have a full inbox of emails. All of them take a lot of attention. And I know that I can't properly articulate all the things I want to because it's in an email and I don't want it to be too long or overwhelming. Phone calls never stress me out, ever.
I'm 100% with you. Like, there are teachers that I've talked to that are like, oh yeah, we'll just email parents, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to email parents to set up a time to talk to me.
Right.
Because I can't get across what I want to get across over email. And I'm with you. Email stress me out because I'm like, there's so many things I have to answer.
Well, and especially, Kaylin, if you're talking with your team, like, oh, like we'll send an email to parents, still, even if you're doing a mass announcement, you don't want to call like 180 families, still do a video email. Like,
oh, yes.
Record yourself. They can hear your tone, hear your excitement. Like, it just makes a world of a difference in terms of people's responses back to you because it's very clear that you're just trying to share information versus overwhelm them with information.
Oh yeah. And the accessibility piece of it is so much nicer too. Like, obviously, like I usually type out the announcement as well with the video so that if they want to like reread and everything like that, it's there. But the video enables so many more people to just like really quickly like get in there, listen to what's going on, be done.
I totally agree. So maybe that would be it. That's a really great question. Jen, you're fabulous. We love you. It's so wonderful. Oh my God. There's so many comments that I've missed all of them. I'm super sorry for what we've been through. Lots of comments about TDI shirts. Oh, good. Laughing over here. Lindsay actually is joining us for a daily drop-in on Friday.
Yay! Oh my gosh, Lindsay.
I know. And so is Bobby. Bobby's joining us for a daily drop-in. So glad that all of you are so excited. Sarah's talking about how you not planned is like very scary. I totally agree.
Super weird.
Super weird. I do want to give a shout out to Jody. Jody was an incredible educator I got to work with my first year teaching. And it makes me so happy when she pops into live videos because I wish that you could like, she's like the happiest. Like when she talks, she just glows. You know those people?
Yeah. That just make you feel good. Their spirit is just so happy.
Seriously, she could like, we could just put her photo up on our live and you'd still be like, oh, I feel better because Jody's here.
I love that.
Totally true. Oh, Jamie, so good to see you. Jamie is super active in our mastermind, which is so fun that we get to do every single week with administrators. This says, what's the best advice you'd give a first-year teacher who's going to begin working this upcoming school year? I just had this conversation literally yesterday. Caitlin, you want to take a shot at this one?
Yeah. Okay. So the first thing I'll say is number one, we are all like first-year teachers this year because none of us has ever experienced anything like this before. Yep. So that's kind of like the first thing that I would say is because to recognize like you're not in this by yourself. Like all of us are just as confused. All of us are just as nervous and stressed and everything. And then the other piece I would say is give yourself so much grace. And I would say that even not during the school year, but it's even more important this year in particular, because you like not everything is going to be perfect. Lean on the people that are in your corner. Find the people that are in your corner. That can be us. But lean on them and take a moment every day to relax and to tell yourself like, I'm doing a great job, because truly you are. It's not that you're doing poorly. It's just that this job, especially right now, is that difficult.
Yeah. No, you're so spot on. It kind of leans back to the conversation that I had yesterday, literally about first-year teachers. How do you support and welcome in new staff this year, right? And in the same capacity of like the knowledge that you just dropped, I was talking to this person all about needing to grow a professional learning network and not just encouraging new teachers to do it, but we actually made this download. It'll come to teachbetter.com soon. I haven't even told Teach Better that we're doing this, but it is. So the front is like general knowledge. It's like a pamphlet, right? The front is like general knowledge of what's a professional learning network. What are some like just things you should know about building a network? Like how do you curate your news feed to be the way that you really want it to be? So it's positive and uplifting. But then the back is like no fluff, like the actual things you should be doing, like pick your platform, make an account, edit your profile, connect with 10 educators that XYZ. Like it was like things that you can almost do in a checkbox. So that way, when you shared this idea with the new teachers, it wasn't like, hey, go build your network. Oh yeah, and here's 45 other things you need to do. So it gets lost in the shuffle. But actually like a very specific, here are 5 educators that have impacted me. Go follow them right now. And then the last one at the very bottom was every single day at the end of like your time with students, you need to send out one post, right? So if it's Instagram or tweet, like one something like reflecting on the day. And then the school that I was with is using a specific hashtag so they can like work together to brainstorm like how their experience is going. And so I liked this blending of like big ideas on the front and then like don't think, here's just the steps you're going to start with at the back. So it was interesting.
I love that. And I have to say, like, I talk to people about professional learning networks, especially through social media all the time, because personally, like, I have been so impacted by mine. Like, I presented at NCTE last year because of a connection I made on Twitter. It literally happened in a Twitter chat. And the other piece that I think is really cool is that you can almost like curate your own journey through teaching, which is so cool by like using hashtags, Instagram stories. Like I can go back and like look at my archive and see like my journey through education, which is so cool. One, because it's a great reflective tool to look at like where you came from and where you are, but also because it's like fun to reminisce like, oh, look at what we did.
No. Well, and it sounds silly because I don't mean to like say a massive blanket statement, but like, except for you and Jody, who's in the comments, everyone else here, all the people watching, all the people commenting, we all met online through a professional learning network. Like Caitlin and I knew each other in like different capacity. Jody, I worked with. I haven't seen anybody else in here, at least commenting. Sorry if I'm leaving you out, but like they're all because we built a network, built a family virtually. So there really is so much power in this idea of just building a family. It doesn't need to be somebody that you see every single day.
So true.
So very cool. All right. We are missing a ton of comments. Thank you to all of you that are commenting. I love these questions. Keep them going. That's literally why we're here. We're just throwing together ideas and hoping to help. We haven't even talked about our classroom yet, Caitlin. So this is awesome. I want to go back to the friends conversation. I'm just saying. So Van is talking about ideas for level 5 in the grid activities. So can I speak to this really quick, Caitlin?
Go for it.
So level 5 is all about like a never ending opportunity for students. The whole idea would be that you've probably a set time that you're working with students on a grid. And if a student has 2 weeks left or 5 days left or 24 hours left in that experience, they need to have something to do that is furthering and it's like extended thinking. So with this idea, Van, I always encourage 2 key components to level 5. I'm sure you've heard me say this before. One is you need to give the students a prompt that is extremely open-ended. Don't tell them how they're solving the prompt. Don't tell them like steps they need to take. Literally an open-ended prompt. It could be something as general as, where else is this used in the world? Go explore, right? Totally like so open-ended. But the kicker is you need the students to submit a proposal to you about how they're going to attempt the prompt. And that proposal is going to be before they get started. And the reason they're doing that is because you as the educator need to sit back and say, all right, we have 2 weeks left in our grid. So whatever's on this proposal needs to take at least 2 weeks to do. If a student comes to you and there's 5 days left in the unit and they're like, I'm going to Google search something and put it in a Google slide, I'm like, no, that is not higher order thinking. That's really not going to take you 5 days. Like, I really want to see an in-depth plan. So this is a good reflection opportunity to go back and forth with the student and say, I really love this component of your proposal. Let's build on these ideas and do X, Y, and Z, and then have them come back. And it's really this like conversation. So that's what I would say. To be honest with you, a lot of my level 5s are all the same because I'm just presenting a prompt, and then how they attempt that prompt changes based on the content in the grid and how it relates to that prompt. Does that make sense? Maybe.
Yeah, I followed it.
Okay. Well, that's
I like it.
Yeah. Dave Schmitto says, you do smile through everything, which is amazing. What is your priority in the next few months to keep you smiling and not overwhelmed? Caitlin, any thoughts?
I think I'm just going to accept the fact that I'm going to be overwhelmed regardless of what I do. So there's that. But my first priority was getting my stuff unpacked in my new classroom. I don't know if y'all saw it on Twitter, but it was a disaster. So I unpacked my section because we are starting remotely in my district, though we are working from our classrooms, which I'm excited about. So I set up my area and made sure I unpacked my material so I would have what I was looking for and didn't have to go dig through a bunch of boxes to find it. So now that that's done, like the rest of my classroom is kind of sitting on the back burner at this point because it's not going to be used by students. My next priority is learning our LMS.
And you're just going to pass with a big smile and surround yourself with great people and maybe have an adult beverage every so often.
Yep.
No judgments.
That's it.
Yeah. Dave, this question is overwhelming to me. So I just want to be critical of like, this is not a nice question to ask us live on camera because my answer would be to cry. No, honestly, I think the next few months, I think for me, I feel so much better when I have like a system. I need things to be simple. And I don't mean simple because I don't want to work hard at them, but I just have so many things in my life that I feel like I manage that the simplest way to accomplish the goal of still doing something well is really a priority. So for me, a lot of how I'm handling being overwhelmed is trying to find that routine, that system that makes it manageable. So that way it's not this overwhelming big task, but it's a very strategic, like laid out thing that I already have proven that I can accomplish. And the other thing, I know it seems lame, Dave, because you say we always smile, but Caitlin, sometimes I smile because it makes me feel better. Like it's a defense mechanism, but it's also like when I'm on camera, my mood is higher because I know I need to smile when I'm on camera, right? Like it's sort of like holding you accountable, right? Like to be solution minded. Like when I get negative, I know that it's like, oh, I should go live because I'm not usually negative on a live video. I'm like solution minded. So I don't know. Is that stupid?
No. Okay. So Brian Faulkner was my old principal. He wrote a post about like smiling and how it truly does improve your mental health. He so he's a rock star when it comes to like mental health. His whole like building culture that he had was all centered around like student mental health, teacher mental health, support, positivity, like all this amazing stuff. And truly like he has done like all this like research and stuff like that. He looks into what it is to support mental health. And one of the things that he found was like smiling actually does improve it. So I completely agree with you. It doesn't sound stupid at all. Like if I'm having a bad day, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go take a selfie because then I have to smile.
Right. Or like do a video for families or pop on a live stream. Like I know it sounds dumb, but it forces me to like change my mindset. And I guess I should thank all of you for allowing me to do that because it's
and for listening to us when we do.
Yeah, it's really weird. So it's good. I just say Brian Faulkner hasn't blogged for us recently. So go look up his post. He has like at least 3 or 4, but the one you're talking about, I'm thinking of the blog image. It's a bright blue with somebody laughing and it's called like, it's okay to smile right now or something.
There's he did a few under mental health. If you go into the mental health category, our self-care better category, it will come up. He did so many and they're all fantastic. I highly recommend looking at them.
Yeah, we're a big fan. He's an Illinois principal who no longer works with either of us, but he's a fun member of the Teach Better family. I do want to talk about Jen's comment, not about the Teach Further, but about the fact that we try and make ourselves available. This really is intentional because we want to be supported. Like even Caitlin and I right now, like we're literally live just because these daily drop-ins was something that we had so much positive feedback that you guys appreciated having a space to laugh and ask questions. And some of the questions are going to be lame and some of the questions are going to be awesome. And but that really is a big priority for us. So whether you're connecting with me or Caitlin or Chad or, Jeff or Becky or, oh my God, Megan, Andrea, there's so many that people that are just willing to give their time. Don't ever feel badly about that. Like definitely take the time and process. My whole day today, Caitlin, is phone calls and Zoom calls, literally from now until 4:30. And then I have podcasting at 6.
Yep, I have a full day ahead of all this Zooming and stuff too. So like I'm with you. And I have to say, like, I love being available with other educators. Like I would set up Google Hangouts all the time.
Yes.
Like just because it's so like it helps me too to like have a conversation with someone.
Mm-hmm. No, I totally agree. This goes back to a question that we answered earlier that I think maybe we can elaborate on. What advice do you give new teachers in forming their PLN? Caitlin, can you go back, way back to like when you made a Twitter account or Instagram, whatever platform you like? We could debate those platforms. I know that you and I both have very strong opinions. But like, what was the first like 4 steps you took to like starting your PLN?
So I'm a big Twitter user. That's kind of like my area. Like I have an Instagram and I do post on it and I interact with people that way. But I would say Twitter is like my bigger one. I invest more of my time on there. And when you're getting started, I would say the best thing you can do is number 1, keep it professional. Make sure that what you're doing and what you're putting out there is all geared towards yourself as a professional. If you want to have a personal one, make a separate account. Keep it professional because that's going to make sure your feed is focused on what you want to see and is focused on that professional education side of things. The second thing, and this one's really big, join Twitter chats. That is how you will connect with people because you will be able to have conversations with them. If you don't know how to join a Twitter chat, you want to talk through it, I can chat with you about it, more than happy to. It's super easy and it's really fun. Mastery Chat is on Thursdays. That's our Twitter chat. And it's so much fun. We always send gifts to each other the whole time. Which is fabulous.
We didn't even talk about Gilmore Girls.
I know.
Fun. Oh, anyway.
We're failing at life with the Gilmore Girls. But seriously, Twitter chats, do that because you'll be able to interact with people and kind of build your network. And then the last thing is reach out to people. I am like probably notorious for this at this point, but I just like slide into people's DMs all the time. And I'm like, hey, and I'll just like, it depends on what it is. Like I've gotten people to blog with us by doing that. I have just like asked people to chat with me by doing that. I've had like video calls with people that like I never would have thought would have said yes, but it's because like it's just do it. The worst thing they're going to do is ignore you. So
yeah. No, I completely agree. I love all this. And like some of the Twitter chats that we're referencing, like there's so many out there. And I feel like my first step that I took when I got on Twitter to find these Twitter chats was I started following authors that I had like their books of. So for instance, like Dave Burgess, Adam Welcome, those were educators that I had already like been connected to just by reading their books. So when I connected with them, I kind of followed like, who are they retweeting? Like, what type of hashtags are they using? And then you kind of get into that like Twitter circle of, okay, so Kids Deserve It chats on Wednesdays, TLAP chats on Mondays, Mastery chats on Thursdays, Ed chats on Tuesdays. Like you kind of, then you get to pick like what circle you want to be in. It doesn't mean that your entire newsfeed is like Dave Burgess, but you're using a resource to then find these other resources as well. And so even just going to like Caitlin's profile or my profile, we have Twitter chats that we, frequently participate in. We have people that we are frequently connected to that we retweet their content. Like that's a great way to get started. That seems very easy. But then once you do it once, you kind of like stop doing it because you start to curate that feed. And I know it's like kind of embarrassing to say this, but you have to keep it professional and you have to curate your newsfeed the way you want to perceive education. I have a lot of people that have been telling me all summer long that their newsfeeds are full of like horrible content. And I think that is like, that's because you didn't curate your newsfeed the right way. And so you got to like unfollow people and surround yourself with the right people that are positive and solution minded. Seriously.
Use the block button.
Block is a great one.
Use it.
I don't even mean not to be mean, but like I can't log on social media and have it like be detrimental to my mood. I can't do it.
Yeah, there's certain people like and there's certain like attitudes I just can't. I can't. Like I have enough stress and anxiety going on in myself. Yes. I do not need to log on to social media to get more. Yeah, I need to log on to social media to get some uplift, some positive, some solution, some goodness.
And you can use them in different ways. Like I am on Twitter, but you guys, if you've read anything like in Teach Better or in, Teachers Deserve It, I love Twitter. I've made incredible connections, but it's not my platform. Like I use it. I like it because of the connections I've made, but it's not really my favorite like way to consume information. So if you go through my Twitter, it's all educators. It's all specific strategies on education to be better. But if you go to my Instagram, it's nothing about education on my newsfeed. Like if you follow me on Instagram and I follow you back, it's not personal. It's because literally everything on my Instagram is like design and art and like it's nothing about education because this is where I like take a brain break. I know that's so crazy, but my professional account is still a professional education profile, but my news feed isn't. Does that make sense? I don't know.
No, I'm with you because I use Instagram the same way. Like my Instagram feed is like lifestyle stuff, fitness stuff. Like it's stuff that like I look at when I'm like, okay, I need to like decompress a minute and I'll go through that. And it's like, oh, that's a cool workout. I'm going to do that tomorrow.
Yes. But then on Twitter, mine's all education. So it's like, if I need a good tool for education, I usually go to Twitter.
Yep.
So curate your.
I use them differently.
Yeah, it's good. I was hoping you'd have your own version of Dave and Jeff Brain Break. That's true. They're doing that on Wednesdays. You know, I feel like our daily drop-ins is kind of like a morning brain break. We're going to talk about anything you guys want. So this is it's a good spot. All right. I'm so sorry. I have totally been the worst person going through comments because there's so many amazing, amazing people. And I don't want to miss any questions. If you've posted a question and I'm missing it, will you please post it again? I'm super sorry. There's so many comments. Are there any Teach Better suggested calendar posts for Twitter chats with new staff? I won't lie to you. There's so many blogs on teachbetter.com about Twitter chats and mastery chat. Like if you go to teachbetter.com/mastery chat, there's a lot of information there too, like easy downloadable resources and all that stuff. That's what you're like things that you'd want to mention, Caitlin?
And there's like, honestly, there are so many different ways to find Twitter chats at this point. Like you'll start to notice like when people are retweeting certain things, they'll have like a specific hashtag on it that usually ends in chat. Yeah. If the thing that they're tweeting sounds cool, find out when the chat is. They usually kind of throw it out there. Yes. Personally, like I think I follow like 25 that I can't even remember all the names of. Right. So that would be a lot for me to find for you right now. But I'm happy to share and like put out a couple of tweets with different ones.
And there really are, guys, like, yeah, I mean, we can tweet them out, but truly, if you go to teachbetter.com, there's so many blogs about how to get involved in Twitter chats, tips for Twitter chats. Like Jody here is kind of looking, she's saying like, oh, I always get lost. You always feel that way in the beginning, just to be clear. And especially, I don't want to like go on a soapbox about this, Caitlin, but like, Twitter chats are overwhelming. I'm not a big reader. So like the idea of reading content fast on Twitter chats is what immediately overwhelms me. Although I know other people like have normal brains. But I suggest like a few key things. One is when you pick your chat, know the pace of the chat. So like mastery chat is literally insanity. There's like over 200 plus educators that participate every single week, and all of them are tweeting at the same time. So it's super easy to just like your newsfeed just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes, and you get lost. And like, if you know that, there's ways to manage it, but just know that it's a busy, bustling chat versus there's other chats that have like 30 people participating. And that's where you can, you know, really make sure you read everything and make sure you comment and like everything. And it just goes slower. It's just a different type of feel. For both of those chats, though, I suggest having, first of all, do it on your computer, not your phone. First of all, yeah, no. I don't. People that do Twitter chats on their phone like astound me. I don't know how to do it, but like then have two tabs open: one with the hashtag feed, where you're gonna tweet and read, and one with your notifications. So when people interact and engage with you, you catch all those moments. Any other thing?
TweetDeck, amazing. Highly recommend it. Because it lets you schedule your own tweets. If you know what the questions are ahead of time, you can schedule your answers and then spend the time instead of answering a question, like interacting with other people and asking questions on what they've said and that kind of thing. And then I would say too, like the two tabs thing is 100% real. Like I always have one with TweetDeck and then one with my notifications.
Guys, I totally have failed to even mention that I'm hosting Kids Deserve It this week, by the way. Or participate with me.
Oh my gosh, you should. It's going to be amazing. And also, that's a quick one. So, like, before you jump in, that's a fast one. So, it's only 30 minutes. So, it's like fast and furious. Like, that's one that even, like, I'm like a speed reader, and that one overwhelms me. So,
I will say, though, like, that's totally the case of, like, also you should know the length of time of the chat. So, like, Mastery Chat is a full hour. There are people tweeting from 7 o'clock Central to 8 o'clock Central.
Yep.
So that's like a full hour of content. Kids Deserve It is a half an hour. So that'll be 8 o'clock Central on Wednesday to 8:30 Central on Wednesday. But like Be the One chat, I don't know when that happens, but it's like 15 minutes. Like it completely depends on that as well. So keep that in mind. But you guys should all come join me for Teachers Deserve It chat. No, I'm sorry. It's a Kids Deserve It chat on Teachers Deserve It book. Very confusing.
Setting an alarm.
Kids Deserve It. Do that. I love your modeling good behavior, Caitlin. Look at you. So Kids Deserve It. It's going to be Wednesday night. It's at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. And it's only a half an hour.
Half an hour.
And I can even share the questions with you if you want to know them in advance. There's 4 total questions, and they all have like 25 parts, and it will be great. Yeah, super good.
They all have 25 parts. Oh my gosh.
You do. They're like one of the questions has like 3. It's like a choose your own adventure. It's super fun. I know. Super.
I love it. You're saved.
All right, there we go. I'm super sorry. Guys, I know we've missed questions, so feel free to throw more in. I do want to, at some point, get to our classrooms, but we only have like 10 minutes left, so we really are here to help in any way possible. I've loved these conversations. So much fun. Katie says she's intimidated by Twitter chat. Okay,
Katie, let's set up a time to talk, and I can like walk you through the way that, because I had no idea what I was doing. When I started joining Twitter chats, and I was like, this is impossible. So let's set up a time we can talk.
And Jen says she schedules them. Mastery Chat questions are posted before like the chat. So you can actually see, if you go to teachbetter.com/mastery chat, or just go to teachbetter.com, and under the What We Do, there's like an entire Mastery Chat page you can click on, and it has all the questions as soon as we get them. So sometimes we get them a week in advance. Sometimes we get them like a few days, but you can even see like the time the questions are coming out. So really, really good strategy.
For sure.
I blew my mind. That's awesome.
Love it.
Look, and Katie's going to schedule time to talk to you.
Yay. Okay.
That's awesome.
Let's do it. Send me a message and I'll send you my Calendly link.
Woo! Why don't you have your Calendly link like set up with your name?
I do.
So isn't it just calendly.com/Caitlin Giordano?
Yeah, but a lot of people don't know how to spell my name.
Okay, can I tell you that when I message people about you, I, for whatever reason, don't write out Caitlin and I do KNG. I have no idea why.
It's okay. Like my name's so long. That's the thing. Like I debated like going by like Kate for a while because I'm like, it's so long. But then at the same time, like I don't feel like a Kate. So
no, you go by Caitlin. But because your Twitter is KN Giordano, I am just always like, oh, you know, KNG. And Jeff totally called me out the other day. He was like, who is that? I'm like, Caitlin Giordano, obviously.
Duh. Well, it's funny because my name's so long that Twitter doesn't even accept my real name as like a handle.
Yep.
Because it's so long.
Mm-hmm. It's a problem.
Blame my mom for that extra N.
I love it. I want to be in the room when that talk happens. Jody, join them in the conversation.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we can have 3 people in the Zoom. That's fine. Yeah. There's no limit.
You should actually just post the link publicly and people can hang out in the Zoom about Mastery Chat. Just saying.
That's such a good idea. Okay, I'm going to write a note.
When I said post it publicly, I mean like not publicly because that's creepy, but like maybe in the private Facebook group that we have for the team or something.
Yeah, I'm just going to, you know what? I'll set up a live. I'll go live. We'll just bring some people on to ask questions. I'll just go live and talk about Twitter chats.
That's a great idea. You're so wonderful. Look at
We'll just do that. That way you can post questions. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, we can schedule one-on-one time. Katie, I'm talking to you. But otherwise, I'll just go live and talk about Twitter.
I love this. This is the best. I just
wrote myself a Post-it note for that live for Twitter.
Wow.
I'm going to know what that means later. I hope.
Just rewatch this video and be like, what does the Post-it note exist?
I have Post-it notes all over my desk right now. You guys don't even. They're on the wall too.
See? Well, So this is our last call for questions. There's about 10 minutes until Caitlin and I have a meeting at 9, so I have to go. But Caitlin and I have full days. We really would be more than happy to. You know what I just realized? The thing up above us right there. Wait, right there. That has the wrong time on it.
Oh my God, it does.
It has the wrong time on it. Right above your head. Do you know what I'm saying? It says it's at 7 o'clock. That's because Daily Drop-In last time was at 7 o'clock Central, and then we changed it to 8 o'clock Central for this, 9 o'clock Eastern. So,
which I very much appreciate.
Sorry. I mean, we did it
a little early.
We did it for us, but really, I just keep telling people we did it for Livia because Livia joins our live streams all the time, and that would have been 5 a.m. her time, so we just gave her till 6.
Honestly, those Pacific people, that's so early for y'all. So, I agree with this decision because even though, 7 a.m. is early for me, but, you guys, that would be, you have to set a special alarm for that.
I really want you to, reach up and cover it, but you can't. I just... Anyway, last call for questions. Caitlin, before we go, can you give us a little snapshot of what you're thinking about for your classroom? I know you don't have a lot planned, but just general bare bones. When do you start school? How are you doing? Just general stuff. Do you have any ideas yet?
Yeah, so I'm still getting to know my new building and my new room. I actually just only got into it 2 weeks ago. So my main goal for myself was to find everything. So I literally just unpacked all the boxes and put everything on the floor. So there was just stuff everywhere. But as far as setup goes, I know that I'm teaching remotely and I know I'm teaching from my room. So that was a huge help because at first everything was spaced out 6 feet apart. So I didn't have room for bookshelves. I didn't have room for literally any of my stuff. But the thing that really bothered me was the bookshelves because I teach English and how do you do that? Right. So now that we're teaching remotely, I have a stand-up tripod guy that I'm going to be using just so I can set it in the middle of the room and it's on level height with me so that because I have to stand. I can't teach from my desk all day. It's not going to work.
No, wait. You're telling me that teachers are thinking they're going to sit at their desk when they're teaching? I cannot. Yeah. I cannot. There's no way that you can teach that way. If you're planning on sitting in your chair this fall, oh my, I can't. Okay.
Yeah, I just I don't know. So people are yeah, I'm just going to probably have it all set up at my desk. And I was yeah, I can't do that. No. So I have this tripod dude that I've got all ready to go. I've got to set it up with my iPad so that I could just go that way. But yeah, I right now that's kind of my plan. I only set up my area and really I only did that so that I would 1, have a workspace and 2, be able to find my lesson materials and stuff like that more easily. As of right now, that's really all I have because we're not going back in person. So
there you go. Well, so you'll just keep us updated on all the other things that you slowly start putting in place.
If I, get to it. I'm still waiting. I need to get bookshelves and everything.
For me, I am going back to the classroom with students in a hybrid model or a blended model, depending on the terms you're using. We start the 17th. I think kids start the 19th. I'm pretty sure. I completely made that up though, so fingers crossed. I'm 90, 70% sure. So I'm going to have an A-B schedule, and then we have a remote day Wednesday. I have no idea when we have to be in the building or not be in the building. That information I don't think I know yet, or at least I'm unaware of it. But in my classroom, I'm going to be doing the grid method and teach further model. So there's courses on that at the Academy if you want to go learn more, talk shop anytime you want. And then with that being said, I'm going to do a Bitmoji classroom. And I went live and talked about this in our private group last week, just sharing how I didn't realize that this was such a great tool and it's actually solving a lot of problems for me. So if any of you want to look into that live stream is available in our private Facebook group. And I'm going to post both slideshows of the Bitmoji classroom in Google Classroom. So students have access to it there. I'm also going to use my classroom website, and students will have a mini lesson that they're either watching live or they're watching me like do on camera. I'm going to record it and post it to my students virtually. And then they'll use the grid method and goal set and reflect every single time they do math. So lots of moving pieces, but essentially tech-wise, it includes like Seesaw for goal setting and reflection, my website for their grid and like housing all that stuff, and a Google slide that takes them where they need to go every single day that we post in Google Classroom. So
yeah, I think I'm probably going to end up doing like a Google slide like that has everything kind of linked and housed in one place, just because I feel like, especially with sixth grade, they need it kind of all in one spot.
I called it like blinders. When I went live, I was like, it creates blinders, which my students need.
Oh yeah, for sure. And so like, that's kind of where I'm at with that piece of things. But right now, truly, like my new district uses a completely different LMS, and I'm pretty sure they don't use Google. So I've used Google Classroom for like the last 6 years. So I'll be learning a whole new thing.
My friend Caitlin Giordano isn't going to be using Google Classroom this year. I don't even know. Are you okay?
I'm freaking out because I love Google Classroom. So I'm like, oh my God.
I learned everything I know about Google Classroom through you.
I'm a little nervous about it. So we'll see. Crossing my fingers that like maybe I can still use it and just integrate it with our LMS, but who knows?
Either way, guys, honestly, I'm using Google Classroom because my students know that is like what they use for all the other classes. So Caitlin, I know that we joke about Google Classroom, but whatever LMS you're using, I normally wouldn't be using the LMS because I have my website and I'm like actively choosing to make sure that tools are in that LMS, whatever it is, because I'm thinking that students will naturally think to go there for other classes. And I want to make sure that they have the stuff they need. So I talked about this when I did the live in our private group, but that's kind of where I'm at for that whole situation. So we'll see.
Keep it consistent.
Keep it consistent. That's the goal. And make it easy. Like I know I said that earlier, but this is overwhelming for everybody. So try and make it as simple and routine as possible, because that will help.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness. I just saw this comment from Jody.
What'd you say?
We both went to Bradley. What's up?
Cool. I don't think I
Love
went to Bradley.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I did. Sweet.
You think she's older than you? Jody, you're not. You're not. Nah. We're all the same age. It's fine. Age is relative. I'm just saying. Nah.
True story.
Yeah. Livia, I'm super glad that my live helped. I appreciate that you popped into it. So it was kind of like, Caitlin, I don't know if you watched it. It was just me rambling about nothing.
I loved it because it's helpful. Ray, your ramblings are very helpful to many people, but myself included.
But sometimes, Caitlin, you go live and you're like, I know exactly what I'm sharing and I'm going to take questions, but overall I have a plan. That live was like word vomit for a half an hour. I don't know. It was like literally the whole thing.
Hey, it's cool. It happens. And you know what? It was helpful, truly. So sometimes it works.
So we really appreciate that you came to join our first daily drop-in of our back to school series that we started today and will go all the way till August 14th. I do want to give you a little sneak peek of what the rest of our daily drop-ins will look like because we're at the very tail end. Love, love, love everything that you guys shared today and that you joined. I do want to give a shout out to Lindsay Titus. I had a very inappropriate conversation with Lindsay Titus about her age. I still think Lindsay Titus is like 22. She's like the most gorgeous woman on the planet. Guys, go connect with Lindsay. I embarrassed myself in front of her the other day and she's still speaking to me. So I think that's really good. But I do want to tell you, we have daily drop-ins scheduled now until the 14th, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. And we have a lot of people that are going to be here to join us because we wanted to create an atmosphere where you could post questions and get a lot of different perspectives. Like Caitlin and I are completely different educators. We have similar philosophies, but we teach totally different. And we want to continue to offer multiple perspectives and a safe space to ask questions. So I hope you guys continue to join us at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. Here's what this plan is. Are you ready for this, Caitlin?
I'm so ready.
Tomorrow is Dave Schmittou, Robert Breyer, and Jamie Flower-White. So that will be 3 administrators from all around the country. Yep. The next day is Sammy, Livia, and Caitlin Clayton, who, by the way, are all amazing educators. I want to say like from all over, like Ohio, Illinois, and Canada. Super cool. The 6th, I don't think we're supposed to share this, but it's fine. If you're still listening, you can know our secret. On the 6th, we are going live with Che and Pav from the Staff Room podcast, and they're joining us. And we're playing a newlywed game. Get excited. I cannot wait for that.
Oh my gosh.
I know. On the 7th, the all-star Lindsay Titus is joining us to talk all about student behavior. And I'm going live with her so I can like cue her up to just like rant and preach for an hour. I like cannot wait.
Yeah.
Yes. The 10th, Brienne Fennell's joining us, Candace Miller, and Mark Horner. So amazing educators. The 11th, we have Brianna Shaner, Maggie Gifford, and Brad Hughes, a lot of which, oh my God, all these people have been live with us today.
Yeah.
Super fun. The following day, we have Anna Ritter and Carly Spina. And then, sorry, I'm going through this list and it's like getting really long. Then we have Amanda Post, Jen Reed, and Bobby French. And then the 14th, we are leaving as a surprise because that will be our last daily drop-in day. So I hope.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it'll be super fun. Amazing people sharing their insight, sharing their passion, and answering your questions every single morning. So it'll be super fun.
Amazing lineup. Y'all better be there.
Super fun. Wait, who knows who better? Oh yeah, this is the newlywed game we're playing. Of like, do
I love it.
Better than Che and Pav? I cannot wait. It's going to be so funny.
I love that.
All right, guys. We have been live for an hour for our daily drop-in. We want to thank you again for joining us. Caitlin, I always love chatting with you. You're the most incredible person ever. So good to see you.
Back at you, Ray. I love being here with you.
So fun. I hope all of your meetings and everything else goes well today. And you need to start watching Madam Secretary. That's what you should have taken away from this daily drop-in.
Yep, I wrote a post-it about that too. Don't worry.
It needs to be, it's a double post-it worthy. I just want you to know.
Okay, I'll add a second one to it. 2 colors.
Exactly. All right, bye guys. We'll see you later.
Bye, everyone.